So this is another new day, another totally separate job. So I think in this mob there was 70 or 80 dry pregnant cows on another totally different block. So I've travelled down there with a few dogs and a four-wheeler. And obviously I've mustered this paddock using the older dogs. We mustered them up to a trough and we've not long left the trough. And we're just walking these cows up the fence. It's probably no more than a couple of kilometres, be somewhere between 1 and 2 kilometres up this fence to put them into another paddock, up another fence and into a new fresh paddock. So I'm using Hank and Mack here. It's the middle of the day. It's a little bit more than Mack can handle on his own. So Hank and Mack are on the job. And basically since this clip began, I sent a couple of dogs down to the tail. I'm riding the lead. I'm fairly close to the fence, as you can see on the left hand side. And I'm just saying nothing to these dogs. Their job is to work the tail and the back point and the wing, and even to a degree the front point. So these cows are drifting off the fence just a little bit, but not enough for me to intervene. But they're following me pretty nice, leading out pretty well, and I'm not having to say anything to the dogs, which is good. So this is probably another half a kilometre down the fence line. Same thing, dogs are just tucked in there on the tail. They've kept these cows. You can just see Mack show up there on the right hand side, which is great. There's Hank. So I haven't had to say a word to these dogs. They're just doing this naturally, which is just basically balance, or a variation very close to balance. So this is a fantastic opportunity for Mack just to work for quite a long period with no command. And also being a warm day, it doesn't hurt Mack at this age just to figure out that life's not all 10 or 15 minute training sessions. Sometimes these jobs can take quite a while. And the other thing worth mentioning is this is excellent for these cows. They're all pretty young cows. They'd be no more than 3 to 5 years old, most of them. And they're dry and pregnant at the moment, which means that their calves were weaned several months ago, and in a couple of months they'll start calving again. So just a word of advice or a success tip: if you want to get your cows or your breeder cattle educated to dogs, the best time to do it is when they're dry. So that's not to say they won't fire up once they've got little calves on them, but these girls we bred, so they would have been educated as weaners and as yearling cattle, so they've had plenty of dog in the past. But if you just take these opportunities just to teach them that a dog is not necessarily a predator, it's a great opportunity without that mother instinct kicking in, and it just teaches these cows to bend off a dog.